What are our biggest Dodgers concerns right now? We're going to take a look at some early trade candidates. Also, we're all going to take your questions. I know you guys want to talk about this loss that happened yesterday in Chicago. We'll get into that, all that more. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You guys ready to parade? We got a parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Tony starts the 50-50 club. Mookie Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Also, if you have not yet, join the Dodgers Nation Discord channel. The VIP Nation access is $6.99. You get behind the scenes content, exclusive merch. It's definitely worth doing. I'm in there dropping in all the time. So be sure to do that. And also subscribe to the Big Lead. My Lakers fans, big win yesterday. And we're giving away a Luka Doncic Lakers jersey. So go over there, subscribe, comment Luka Magic for a chance to win. Of course, every episode of Dodgers Dugout Live starts with a poll question of the show. And I asked you guys over on the X, I asked you guys, will the Dodgers signing of Tanner Scott be a great, good, average, or bad signing? He signed a $72 million deal, one of the highest price contracts ever for a reliever. And right now, 32% of you say great, 24% say good, 29% say average, and 15% say bad. So we'll get into that. Lots of thoughts on Tanner Scott. Did a deeper dive on some of his numbers yesterday. He, of course, was tasked with the save opportunity. And when you are tasked with that, you got to come through when you're a $72 million man, right? And sure, it was not the best pitch. He threw a fastball to Miguel Amaya up and in. When you got the wind blowing in right field, you leave something out over the plate, you leave it up, and he crushed it. And Amaya is a fastball hitter. That was just not the right pitch, and he missed his spot. Did not execute. We'll get into that. But of course, going to start with the leadoff.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
So the hottest story in Dodger baseball is, for some reason, Dodgers fans are freaking out. It's almost like this team does not have a 16-8 record, which is good for second place in the National League West. You're half game behind the San Diego Padres, and you have the third best record in the sport. And you haven't come close to playing your best baseball. If the Dodgers were sitting at 16-8 and Shohei and Mookie were putting together MVP seasons and their entire rotation was healthy and their entire bullpen was healthy and they're playing great baseball and you're having mixed results, then I would start to be concerned. But that's not the case in this situation. Yesterday, Wrigley Field was being Wrigley Field. It's windy. It's weird. It plays like a bandbox sometimes. You got the weird netting, the weird baskets that led to a home run. You had some misplays defensively. Andy Paz missed a play defensively, made up for by gunning down Nico Horner and Michael Busch. He made a nice play and got the home run, got the single that started off the inning. I mean, it was just a crazy, wacky, weird game. And I think the focus is on Tanner Scott and Alex Vesia, who gave a 2-run shot to Kyle Tucker that really sparked that comeback there in the 8th inning after Freddie Freeman's go-ahead double gave the Dodgers a run. But you start with starting pitching, and sometimes you have to chalk things up to April baseball being weird. April baseball lies. April baseball lies. It doesn't tell the truth about teams, doesn't tell the truth about players, doesn't give you the ultimate forecast of how good guys are going to be. And the number I want to throw at you today, guys know I like throwing at you a lot of numbers. Number I want to throw at you today, though, is 138. As in, the Dodgers have 138 games left in the season, and you're still a team that's on pace to win 108 games that hasn't played their best baseball. To me, the Dodgers losing right now is like when you see headlines where Jeff Bezos and Amazon's stocks plunged 9% and that he lost $15.9 billion, and you're like, oh, but he's still worth $186 billion. He could still give everyone on the planet $1 billion and be one of the richest guys on the planet. That's kind of how the Dodgers are right now. They're winning, but it kind of feels like they're losing just because you're not seeing enough production from the bottom of the lineup. You have had some moments where you don't feel great about some of your superstars. Mookie and Shohei haven't been at their best. Max Muncy struggled all season. Andy Pages really had one of his better nights at the plate, but just the bottom of the lineup hasn't done enough. I think last night, though, you look at someone like Dustin May, who did not feel comfortable on the mound early on. It was clear he did not have the feel for that sweeper. He could not get effective, and he could not get comfortable and get lefties out. The sweeper to lefties just was not there. Left too many pitches right out over the plate, and they tattooed him. They took advantage. He gave up 7 runs, and the good thing about it was after the game, you could tell that Dustin May was a little spicy. Dustin May was not happy with how things went. Here was Dustin May in the Dodgers clubhouse after his outing.
Dustin, it's clear this day was just a grind for you. How did you then have to just battle to get through 5 innings, knowing that tomorrow potentially is going to be a bullpen game?
Yeah, just had to give as many outs as I could, knowing that I didn't have my best stuff today. Trying to get the bullpen as much help for tomorrow as possible.
Did you find that maybe after first 2 innings, just kind of rhythm was getting where you wanted it to be, or did you kind of just feel like that was missing today?
No, nothing was very good today.
What was it you were struggling with? Was it mostly command?
Kind of everything.
Is this one that you just turn the page and kind of leave with this and kind of focus on getting ready for your next outing?
Yeah, just scratch it.
You talked about like how important like the sweeper was going to be for you this year. Like how tough is it on days where you're not locating it where you want or using it to kind of get in the count the way you might want?
I think you can see how important it is.
So, clear right there. Dustin May not very happy after not doing what he was supposed to do and go 6 or 7 innings and throw 3 or 4 run ball. But I do think he did settle down. He got some big punch outs in the second inning, and to give up those 5 runs and still get 5 innings out of him, it made it where it's possible to win today. Now, after the game, Dave Roberts did say that there was a chance that maybe they would make a roster move to bring up a fresh arm up because of the bullpen being taxed, but they didn't. And Ben Kasperius is going to get the start today. Ben Kasperius has been one of the unsung heroes for the Dodgers so far this season. I think that it's a good spot for him. It really is. I mean, you've seen him continue to get built up. His teammates call him Benny C. And you see the pitch counts go up. I mean, against Texas, 23 pitches, goes to inning and 2/3. Against the Rockies, when you had the short start from Bobby Miller, he went 3 in that one through 47 pitches. Before that, against the Cubs, back on April 12th, he threw 41 pitches. So the great thing about Ben Kasperius is my man gives you value. He gives you 2-3 innings. So Ben Kasperius, Jack Dreyer, Evan Phillips. I mean, you got guys that you can piece it together. And then unfortunately, Noah Davis, he is going to be fresher than a cucumber today because he threw just 1 pitch. Just 1 pitch for Noah Davis after he gave up the walk-off shot. So, yeah, look, I mean, you give up a walk-off base hit the way he did, and you feel bad for the guy that throws a splitter. That's your welcome to the Dodgers moment. Not a soft landing, but also not a well-executed pitch. I think that if we do a a list of kind of Dodgers you may have forgotten about in the 2025 season after they win the ring this year, you're probably going to have Noah Davis in the back of your mind somewhere. You might not remember him, but hey, look, the truth of the matter is this is a Dodgers team that they use a lot of pitchers. And last year, you used a franchise record high of 40 pitchers, and you're already on the 20th pitcher. Noah Davis, he was the 20th pitcher the Dodgers have used this season through 24 games, and that's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, it's not. I mean, the Braves have used a lot of pitchers. There's other teams out there that have used a lot of pitchers, but still, let's relax. I think that they are in a place where there is some valid concerns. We're going to get into that in just a second, but I think yesterday was fluky in the sense that you didn't get much from Shohei, didn't get much from Mookie Betts. Freddie Freeman got you a base hit. Mookie, Freddie, and Shohei, they've got a combined 1 for 22 last couple of games. And we'll talk about that more in just a second here. But at least you did start to see signs of what this team could be offensively. Freddie Freeman, he hits one to left field. If you know how Freddie Freeman approaches hitting, that's where he wants to be. Center, left field, and when he started to hit the ball, that part of the field, which he's only done a couple of times, then that's been the case. Here, you got to take advantage of an error there by Workman, and you're able to score a run because of that. But yeah, look, I mean, this is a Dodger team. They're going to be fine, but there are some valid concerns. For this team. And we got our new segment coming up that we're going to get into, and it's the biggest concern. So I want to hear from you guys. Drop your biggest Dodgers concerns right now. We're going to read a lot of comments here. And we got an update on Clayton Kershaw as well. He threw yesterday. We'll give you an update from Clayton Kershaw, pitching for the Tulsa Drillers in Arkansas. So get into that next. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
What's up, Dodgers Nation? J-Rob here, and I'm hyped to announce our brand new series coming to the platform, the Dodger Fan Cave Series. In this series, we'll be looking across the country for the best Dodger fan caves that you all have to offer. I don't care how big, how small. I don't care if it's a bedroom, a bathroom, a basement, even a small shrine in your office. If it's about the Dodgers, we want to see it. Every week, we'll be taking your submissions, putting them in a competition-style vlog, and selecting a winner. That lucky winner will not only get a Dodgers Nation certified fan cave certificate, but you'll also be featured on the Dodgers Nation platform, specifically YouTube, and maybe on your favorite live show. Shout out to Dodgers Dugout. If you want to be a part of this, all I need from you is 5 to 8 submissions via WeTransfer. I need 5 to 8 4K submissions, photos, videos, and if you can give me a small story about your shrine, maybe a special item in there, maybe something that has some sort of sentimental value, or even something crazy that most Dodgers fans haven't seen before. We really want to see that Dodger pride shine in this series. I want to see those jerseys, bobbleheads, big murals, paintings, whatever it is. Send those submissions to Dodgers Nation and make sure you get them to me through WeTransfer, and maybe you'll be featured on an episode soon. Peace.
And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. Got some comments. DP Power 16, what are your thoughts on it? The Dodgers said Muncy Paez and Outman for Nolan Arenado. We'll talk about that in a second. A couple injury updates to get into, some positive news here. We'll talk about some injury news that we like to hear about, and that is when guys are on the mend. Clayton Kershaw, 32 strikeouts away from 3,000. Definitely one of the storylines this season. Well, he threw again yesterday, this time down for Double-A Tulsa, and he went 60 pitches. He went over 3 innings again for the Drillers. He went into the 4th innings. He did give up a leadoff walk and a single. Then he exited the game. He allowed a double to start his appearance, and then he ended up giving up a run on a wild pitch, but still, I mean, there was some tough hits there. The Royals' top prospect, Joe Caglione, always laugh when I say that, is he doubled off him, and then he did Kershaw struck out the first batter of the game, and then he was able to get out of it. So really good job by Clayton Kershaw to get some work in there to feel better about where he is. And I think that with Clayton Kershaw, it's strange just because it's such an extended appearance for the rehab that he's doing. But I think for Kersh, he's going to be just fine. I mean, 4 strikeouts, you pitch into the 4th inning, throw 60 pitches, and the only walk of the game came in that 4th inning. Now, there's no StatCast data for the game, but I heard that he was throwing anywhere from 86 to 89. He was basically in that range, not touching 90 yet. So that's pretty much consistent with what we saw from him in his rehab starts for Oklahoma City last year. But he's on the 60-day IL, working his way back from the left toe injury. And the soonest he could be activated is May 17th. So that means you got about 3 more rehab starts left for him. So really cool to see him down there, a legend, pitching for AA Tulsa. He did pitch for them back in 2019 in a rehab assignment when he was doing left shoulder inflammation. But yeah, Clayton Kershaw, a positive start. It's a second, but let's get into it. And I want to hear your biggest concerns, guys. I like that. I'm in the overreaction business. I'm your shoulder cryon. I want to hear those of you that are truly concerned because, yes, you can make the case, hey, this team has come back in a lot of their games to win it. You've had some heroics that have led to some of these wins. I look at the fact that last year, the Dodgers, they won the World Series and they started 13-11. So let's not forget that this team is on a better pace than last year's team was. But let's get into it. The biggest concerns right now for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Dodger Blues, biggest concerns about our boys in blue.
So big shout out to my man Todd Lights, the voice of the Dodgers, the PA voice of the Dodgers, doing those drops for us. Really appreciate him. So the first concern I want to get into, there's a little bit of a debunking as well. And I want to talk about Tanner Scott. That was the headline yesterday. That was what social media was talking about. Tanner Scott, you never pay a reliever. Don't pay a reliever. They're volatile. They're like one-hit wonders. You know, you never know what you're going to get from year to year. Why would you pay a reliever? It's the reason why Friedman hasn't done that. And they did give Tanner Scott a $72 million deal. And so far, has he been elite? He has not. Has he looked like a $72 million closer? No, he has not. But he hasn't been as far off as people are making out to be. They do not need to have someone else as their majority closer. They do not need to reduce his role in any capacity. He has 2 blown saves. He's saved 8 out of 10 opportunities. And the one thing about Tanner Scott is it's a simplified pitch mix. His pitch mix is 60% fastball, 40% slider. And last night, the fastball from a velocity standpoint was the best we've seen all season. He was pumping over 97. But what I would remind you of when it comes to Tanner Scott is throughout his career, he's been a slow starter. Would you rather have a blown save in April or see how he performed against the best player on the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani, when he was dominating Shohei Ohtani in the NLDS last season? This is the Tanner Scott process. Tanner Scott last season in March and April, still a respectable 2.84 ERA, but it went down significantly after that. In 2023, his March and April ERA was 5.25. I mean, you look at those numbers right there, that's who he is. Heading into the start, he had a 2.77 ERA. He had a 2.77 ERA, a 1.74 ERA plus heading into this appearance. And this time last year, he was posting a 3.38 ERA. Do you know what it was at the end of the season? 1.75. So, no, he's not Agent Zero from the San Diego Padres who has infiltrated the Dodgers to ruin this team. I've seen a lot of overreaction for Tanner Scott. No one's mentioning that Alex Vesey gave up a 2-run shot the inning prior. No one's mentioning that Dustin May gave up 7 runs. No one's mentioning that, yeah, his numbers overall haven't screamed elite, but people acting like he's Joe Kelly in 2018. That's just not the case. Tanner Scott hasn't been great, but he has not been a bum either. He has not been a bust in any way, shape, or form. He's definitely not been that. So I still think that they're going to get the best version of Tanner Scott. I still think that they have to keep doing what they're doing and using him in those high leverage situations. I don't think that it's a situation where he was performing in Miami and is performing in San Diego and that he can't handle the pressure of pitching for the Dodgers and the pressure of living up to that $72 million contract. I don't think that is the case. I just think this is a guy that has been a slow starter that has mostly been successful, and he's seeing his stuff trend up. Like I said, last night was the best that we've seen his fastball play. And for him, it's just about location and sequencing. That was not a good pitch to Amaya. You don't make that pitch. And yes, the savant numbers, his expected ERA isn't good, 5.67, 16th percentile. Expected batting average, 3.34, 4th percentile. Fastball velo, still above average. Average exit velocity is below average in the 5th percentile at 93.1 miles per hour. Where he's been elite is a 0% walk rate, and he still gets a lot of chase. But you're going to see him be like the hard. They've been squaring him up, but things are trending in the right direction. They certainly are. And last night he made a bad pitch. I think for him, he just needs to stay the course, realize that this is who he is. And trust me, I'm all for, okay, let's jump to conclusions. You guys know I was the one who said, hey, Cambrelsa, it was time to let it go, right? I was the one who said it's the California adventure. I don't want to ride that roller coaster anymore of the California adventure. But the difference with Tanner Scott is the stuff is still there. The reason why he was great before, he still is capable of doing, and that is throwing a 97 plus mile per hour fastball and a slider that gets a ton of swing and miss. So I'm not worried. I really am not worried about Tanner Scott. You guys make it seem like it's Michael Scott out there throwing the baseball. Tanner Scott is going to be just fine. But let me know down below the comment section. Are you concerned about Tanner Scott? So that one is not a big concern. I'll give you one that I'm more concerned about. And that is Mookie Betts. And Mookie Betts at the plate. Right now, Mookie's 231 batting average is the lowest of his career. 410 slug, the lowest of his career. 758 OPS, lowest of his career. And the thing is, it's not like he's striking out a lot. Like Max Muncy is struggling, right? But he's not. It's because of he has struck out a good amount and he's been unlucky. But Mookie Betts, an 8.7% strikeout rate. That's not a lot. That's actually the best it's ever been for him throughout his career. And then you look at, well, what's the batting average on balls in play? It is low at 212. But what concerns me with Mookie is you look at some of those advanced numbers that he had been dominant with his entire career. Just red everywhere. So much red that it's just complete dominance at the plate for him. That has not been the case so far this season. I mean, you look at Mookie Betts' advanced of 15th percentile expected batting average, 18th percentile expected slug, 21st percentile average exit velocity. His 87.5 mile per hour exit velocity would be the lowest in his career. 15th percentile barrel rate at 2.9%, 10 percentile and hard hit percentage, that's 28.6. That would be the lowest of his career. And the bat speed is at 67.2. That is in the 5th percentile. So a lot of the metrics that we've seen Mookie be elite at in years past consistently, he's dropped off significantly. And I think at some point, if he struggles for a long stretch, you do have to wonder how much playing shortstop has taken its toll on him offensively. Because guess what? It's a seesaw. The pendulum has swung. Mookie Betts now is a great shortstop. Defensively, it's a small sample size, but he's in the 9th percentile and outs above average. And another thing too, Mookie's sprint speed, he's down to the 19th percentile. So a lot of the kind of athletic stuff and things like that have taken a hit so far this season. And you guys know, Mookie, favorite dude by far in that clubhouse as far as the way he carries himself, the leadership. I mean, I love Mookie Betts. He's great. And I still think he's going to have a great season. I still think that that's in there. But right now, early on, I'm just giving you the unbiased, keeping it 100 you get with you guys, keeping it a buck version of this. And he did an interview with Dave Vassan, Dodger Talk, and he said about the shortstop spot, I genuinely love coming to work and going to work at short. It's actual fun for me, like how people go to play golf. That's how I feel coming to practice at shortstop. I'm not saying a new life, but a different energy for me. I truly loved it. It's been fun. So I love the fact that he loves shortstop, but what makes Mookie Betts great, what makes Mookie Betts an MVP is what he can do at the plate. And if Mookie had played this level of shortstop and gave you the offensive numbers that we've seen from him throughout his career, you jump for joy. You do cartwheels right down 1000 Vince Scully Avenue, right? It'd be great. But that's not what we are seeing so far. It is 24 games. He has missed time. So I need to see more. And he's been a slow starter throughout his career. So this could be a lot of nothing, but it's definitely something that I'm monitoring early on. Now, next thing I want to talk about is, this is one from you guys. This is from Sad U Darvish. Sad U Darvish's biggest concern is that Decoy is losing quality time due to Shohei's new baby. I love that. By the way, Decoy's a big brother. Decoy's a big brother. But then you got Michael Conforto. He's been struggling. Teoscar Hernandez, his defense, and Andy Pages, his defense. Michael Conforto, Teoscar Hernandez, and Andy Pages collectively grade out as one of the worst defensive outfields in baseball. And this, surprisingly, has nothing to do really with Andy Pages. Andy Pages is a corner outfielder that's being forced to play in center field because Michael Conforto and Teoscar Hernandez, they're locked into their corner outfield spots. But so far this season, Andy Pages has been right at league average or above average when it comes to his outfield spot. I mean, he robbed a couple home runs. He helped Hiroki Sasaki in his last start. You've seen him make some highlight plays. You've also seen him make some missed plays too. It's kind of a mixed bag with him. But as far as overall grading, I mean, you really can't complain too much about Andy Pages' defense. The defense that's concerning is Teoscar Hernandez and Michael Conforto. You look at Teoscar Hernandez's defense so far this season, he's in the 1 percentile, a -4 outs above average. And right field is supposed to be where he's at his best, and he did grade out better in right. But defensively, he has struggled early on. Michael Conforto in the other outfield spot, he has struggled early on. Michael Conforto, you look at some of his metrics, he's in the 4th percentile in outs above average. So Teoscar in one corner in the 1 percentile, where you want to be as close to 100 as you possibly can in percentile rankings, and then Conforto in the 4th percentile at -3. So you have two below average corner outfielders, and then you have a center fielder that should be a corner outfielder in Andy Pages, who's been miscast as a center fielder. So that tells you that collectively their outfield defense, they are sacrificing it because they think those guys are going to be able to hit. Well, on top of that, Michael Conforto has not hit to the level that they had hoped early on. Michael Conforto, if you look at where he's at offensively, he's now a below average bat, hitting 191, 99 weighted runs created plus. 22 games, 83 plate appearances, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. He needs to get it going. The walk rate's up, but he needs to hit the ball harder. And then same goes for Teoscar Hernandez. We love Teoscar, right? Sunflower Seeds, Teoscar Hernandez. I love me some Teoscar Hernandez. Top 5 all-time Dodgers smile. I'll say it. Teo, though, his numbers this year aren't as good as they were last year. He was a 134 weighted runs created plus, meaning he was 34% above league average offensively. Now he's down to 111. And the slug's been down. The on base has been down. The batting average has been down. The good thing is the strikeout numbers have been down too, in a good way. He's dropped his strikeout rate from 28.8% to 20.2%, but he's not walking. The walk rate has dropped from 8.1% last year to 3.4% this year. So still early, but the point I'm trying to make about the outfield is this team knew what they were getting when it came to the outfield defense, where you'll take passable and slightly below average if you can hit. But if you're not well above average offensively and you're below average defensively, that means you're at an average or below average rate from a overall production standpoint. That is why Teoscar Hernandez, despite his early success, he has a 0.1 F-WAR. A 0.1 F-WAR because of kind of the defensive shortcomings early on. Then Michael Conforto, you look at him where he's at, he's a negative 0.1 F-WAR. Defense, I don't think it wins championships, but I think it loses championships. Just look at the New York Yankees. Aaron Judge dropping the ball. Anthony Volpe not making the right play. The Pinstripes crapping down their leg like we saw last season. So if you're going to play at this level, you better hit. That is the concern for me, is the outfield defense. Now, next big concern is really nothing too, I think this was a little overblown, but I'll just mention anyway. The Dodgers relievers innings are piling up. They have been overworked. They have been overworked like the Panda Express employees have after the Dodgers wins. I mean, 100.2 innings for the Dodgers relievers combined this season. That's first in all of Major League Baseball. So you've got more length from your starters lately. Yama's giving you 6 and 7. Even Dustin May in a bad start gives you 5. The Bobby Miller start, that was a setback, and Robleski and Landon Knack really didn't go deep into games. And you are missing Blake Snell, Tyler Glass now having the cramps, then dealing with the mound issue. So, yeah, there have been some shorter starts. Roki Sasaki is building up. He wants to go at least 5 innings for the rest of the season. That's his goal. But I look at the overall production of the bullpen. They haven't been an elite bullpen yet. I still think they're rounding into form. You're still missing Michael Kopech. You lose Blake Trinan. And then Evan Phillips is working his way back. Anthony Bonda's had some ups and downs. Luis Garcia, shout out to Luis Garcia. Great dude. Great appearance yesterday. But he's someone that he's towards the end of his career. Is kind of just filling a spot while the rest of the relievers get healthy. Kirby Yates has had his moments, blew the save, then bounced back yesterday, got the big strikeout. But makes you wonder, do the Dodgers need another bullpen piece? Because you can't either A, count on all these guys getting and staying healthy, and 2, a guy could be available. And a lot of you guys in the Discord have been asking me about Ryan Helsley. And Ryan Helsley is certainly an interesting trade candidate that the Dodgers could consider if he becomes available. And Ryan Helsley, if you look at his contract status, after the season, he is going to be a free agent. He avoided arbitration this year with a 1-year, $8.2 million deal. And you look at the success that he's had early this season, yeah, he screams elite for sure. He screams elite for sure. But I wouldn't say it's incredibly elite. I mean, a 2.25 ERA, yes. He also has a 4.25 expected FIP. So that ERA a little bit outperforming the expected numbers. The strikeout rate's up, an 11.25 strikeout rate. The home runs, he's kept to 0. He just does not give up home runs. But Ryan Helsley is pretty interesting. A lot of you guys have wanted him for a while. A lot of you guys have pushed for him. And I think really what it comes down to with Ryan Helsley, would the Cardinals shake hands with the enemy and do a deal with the Dodgers? They've done deals in the past, but it has been rare. But then again, last year you do a deal and you have Tommy Edman. But that was an interesting deal where did the Cardinals really know they were in on that? Right? When you look at Helsley, 97th percentile in fastball velo, 98.7 miles per hour. He misses barrels. He limits hard contact. Yeah, I think that's an option for sure if you're going to go that route. Four-seam slider, cutter, curve mix, mainly four-seam slider guy. Still think it's a little early. But what if you combine him with Nolan Arenado? Is Arenado's stock going up for early trade candidates? Now, there's a couple options you can go to. So if Arenado's a guy, you still got $60 million. I mean, you got still money left and you have to commit to him. But he has gotten up to a really good start. The offense has been above average. The glove's elite again. He has a no trade clause. If the Cardinals were sellers, I guarantee you if Nolan Arenado is on the mound, or Nolan Arenado's on the trade market, I guarantee you that is a option for him. He would say, hey, call Andrew Freeman, the Dodgers first to see if they're interested, and that's the team I waited for. But there's some breaking news here, guys. Some breaking news. And I think it's about Blake Snell. So let's take a look at this. Fabian Ardaya tweeted, Blake Snell did not feel great after playing catch yesterday. Dave Roberts said he will be shut down from throwing and might go for more imaging. Dave Vassay tweeted out, Dodgers scraped Blake Snell's bullpen session after he felt discomfort after playing catch yesterday. Snell will be re-examined when the team returns to Los Angeles. Dave Roberts said the Dodgers have stressed big picture so Snell doesn't pitch through anything. Well, here we go again. This season of Squid Game, starring the Los Angeles Dodgers pitchers. Feels like you lose a guy every week, every month. This does not sound good. And you hate to see this, and I don't want to overreact here. And you have to hope that this is the Dodgers being as protective and being as cautionary as you possibly can. And you know that they are going to err on the side of caution. But Blake Snell was your $182 million guy. Blake Snell is someone that has not gotten off to any kind of start that you were hoping. And for him to say he did not feel great, I don't want to say it's apples to apples with Tyler Glasnow last season, but that's how these things start, is you're playing catch, you're just not feeling right. You're not feeling right. And that is definitely something that is going to change this team. Because, yes, you got depth, right? I mean, Tony Gonsolin, he's going to be back, and I think he'll be fast-tracked at this point for sure. You'll see him make a start very soon here. And the Catman's going to be back. Clayton Kershaw, he can be back towards the middle of May, towards the end. And then Shohei Ohtani, he's going to be back in the next couple of months. So that could be after the All-Star break. So all this talk about a six-man rotation, yeah, it's great. It feels good. And then this happens. You lose a starter like Blake Snell. So that, I don't think it's something dramatic, right? I mean, there's going to take more imaging, right? But something is not going away. Something is lingering. It's not we're going to give it rest and it's gone. So I do think that they are going to shut him down for a long stretch. And look, the good thing is you still got a lot of talent, right? You still have aces. Yamamoto is the Cy Young right now in the National League. And I think that this increases Roki Sasaki's role. And Tyler Glasnow has got to stay healthy. And Tony Gonsolin, Dustin May, homegrown guys need to step up. And Clayton Kershaw coming back is not just going to be, oh, this is a legend just getting some more time with his team, a farewell tour. No, he comes back because you need him. So we'll see what happens and what the next step is. I'm trying to get some more information for you guys. It is breaking news, but you definitely hate to see this because last year, Blake Snell, he got up to a slower start. He was dealing with injuries. And then this year, it feels like it's a similar situation where he just can't get right. And he doesn't feel right. I mean, you've seen the walks out of whack and the strikeouts and just nothing worked. But yeah, Blake Snell, they're going to do more imaging on Snellzilla. Also, another piece of information. This comes from Fabian Ardaya of The Athletic. He tweeted, Will Smith jammed his left wrist during the play at the plate last night. That's why he's not in there. Dave Roberts said it's pain tolerance for now, and they wanted to give him a day off and the day to let it rest. So they're handling Will Smith like that all season, bubble wrapping him up, making sure that he's going to be fine throughout the year and avoid any setbacks and stay fresh, really, because he hit around 200 for the last 3 months of last season. He was not right. They're going to try to keep him right. The Dodgers lineup tonight against the Cubs. You got Ohtani leading off at DH. Betts in the 2-hole playing short. Teoscar Hernandez in right, batting third. Freddie Freeman batting cleanup at first. Tommy Edman is at second tonight. So Tommy at second, and Andy Pages is in center. So yesterday you had Edman in center and Pages in left. And then you got Conforto in left, Rojas at third, Barnes behind the dish, and Ben Casperius is getting the ball to start things off in a planned bullpen game. But another takeaway there is Miguel Rojas in there and no Max Muncy. So Max Muncy suffering his longest home run drought of his career. He sits tonight going up against another lefty for the Chicago Cubs. So yeah, the big news is about Blake Snell, and I want your thoughts on that. So give me your concerns. Let's go to the 7th inning stretch and hear what you guys have to say about Blake Snell and all things Dodger baseball. And look, we are going to still do a comment of the show.
The 7th inning stretch.
We got Jack. If he needs surgery, get Alcantara. Hey, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Sandy Alcantara stock has been hovering, but yeah, I mean, Sandy Alcantara is someone who Bob Nightingale was on this show last week, and he told me that he fully expects him to get traded. So considering that, I mean, if the Dodgers have to go out there and make a move for a frontline starter and they are still all in on 2025, which I know they are, I wouldn't put it past them, but let's hope that Blake Snell is going to be fine. Anytime I hear shoulder in free agent signings, I get PTSD and nightmares thinking about Jason Schmidt. That bum, he was the Giants agent zero. He was the Giants agent zero here to ruin the Dodgers. We got Claudia 11. Will Smith is killing it. We need him to stay healthy for sure. Dr. V with our luck on high-priced pitchers. If Snell would have signed with someone else, he would have the most strikeouts and lowest ERA and a perfectly healthy arm. Bruh. Oh, the Dodger Blues. What do you guys like? You guys like the new Dodger Blue segment? So we can kind of get all of our concerns out. We're going to start doing it every week. Dodgers concerns. But Eric Flores, get a better backup if they're going to Baby Smith. Corpino wants to see Shane Bieber. Smith coddling from Eric Flores. David Guzman should have got Max Fried instead of Snell. Hey, you guys know that I planted my flag firmly on that Snellzilla island. And so far, it has not returned great results. But I'll hopefully be able to take a victory lap when it matters most in October. But I definitely am a little shell-shocked by the early returns on Blake Snell just because of the injuries to start the year. You don't want to see that, especially for a guy that said recently that he's 32 and not 23, and just talking about how that has impacted him and just the recovery time. So, hey, wish Snellzilla a speedy recovery and hope that this is nothing that is serious. Because I will say that Blake Snell, just kind of rewind to last year, he had abductor strain to start the season. Some people were saying it was phantom IL, but he was injured. And when he was activated, he made a couple more starts, and he was bad. I mean, to start the year last year, Blake Snell gave 15 earned runs in 11 2/3 innings. Then he went on the IL, came back, made 3 more starts, had a 7.50 ERA, went back on the IL with a groin strain, made 6 starts, and through 6, he was at a 9.51 ERA. It was a disaster to start the year with the Giants. So I'm here to give you the facts about the trajectory of what a Blake Snell season can look like, because the start of the season is not like the end of the season, right? It usually is a happy ending. It's scary at the beginning, happy at the end. Because when he got healthy, he was a beast. I mean, he was incredible. He was basically better than he was as a Cy Young. He was the best pitcher in the world. He had a 1.23 ERA in his next 80 1/3 innings. He had a 38.1% strikeout rate. He was elite. The walk rate went down. I mean, he truly was the best pitcher in the sport from a start-by-start basis when he got healthy last season. So hopefully that's what we see this time around, is Snell gets injured, Snell gets off to a slow start, and it's kind of like the cycle of Blake Snell. It's like slow start, gets injured, looks like a bust of a signing, comes back, is elite, and looks like the best pitcher in the game. So hopefully we are just in the opening credits, really the first part of the Blake Snell movie, the Snellzilla movie, right? We got to Claudia Levin. Snell's injury is concerning. He really wanted to be a Dodger. Hopefully he doesn't push to make things worse. Yeah, I think that's definitely kind of the good thing about this, is they do have a lot of depth for sure. You guys are mentioning Sandy Alcantara and kind of where he's at so far this year. Sandy Alcantara, just a quick snapshot of where he's been and how close he's looked to the guy he was before the injury. Sandy Alcantara has a 7.27 ERA in 17 1/3 innings. The strikeout rate's down, the walk rate's up. He has not looked like the guy that we saw. It's still really early. He has made just 4 starts. But Sandy Alcantara, when you look at his production so far, it doesn't look like he does have the fastball velocity still, which is great. Still hitting 97 on the heater, but he has not looked good early on. So to think that they could turn to Sandy Alcantara if they need a starter, right now at least it doesn't look like he's the answer. I think it's more about Shohei coming back and Shohei feeling like it's an acquisition of a frontline starter. We've got Alex Rantry, DMAC planted his flag on Snell and Tanner. The returns are stocked down. Hey, you guys know I'm not afraid. I'll stick to my guns. We'll revisit this and monitor this throughout the season. I'd rather be wrong now and right later, because that would be better for the Dodgers anyway, for sure. And those guys are both historically slow starters. So I don't know if the slumping Dodgers turned to mid players into all-stars. Ohtani should be batting near 300. That's another thing too. I was going to talk about Ohtani. It hasn't gone off to a great start, isn't putting up MVP numbers, but his expected stuff is off the charts. It's coming. I think the number one thing I look at for Ohtani is that basically 2/3 of his strikeouts are him expanding the zone, and you don't want to see him expand the zone a ton. I think you need to be a little more judicious with your swings, and I think that's the big thing for me. What did Nando say? Nando 390 down below in the comment section. Aaron M. Well, let's hope Snell isn't out for the season. I don't know. Says move on from Pryor. Claudia says Bauer is playing in Prague. MLB's in fair. Rika Kusmani. I'm giving that a bruh. Can't read that. Man, what are we? It's going down in the comment section. Where's my comment of the show? Where's the funniest thing? Where's the craziest take? I'm ready to give out a comment of the show. Snell is ready for a Cy Young season. We got Mike Rodriguez. I wish they re-signed Bueller. BL DMAC. How has Muncy been unlucky? Sorry, that is BS. I would say that his numbers are worse than what they should be based on what the stats say. But yeah, overall, Max Muncy has not performed up to his capabilities. And at some point, you wonder if if there is a decline there. The strikeout rate's at an all-time high. And I think for Muncy, I mean, he has a 302 BABIP. So there's that. But I think that the thing for Max Muncy that you can kind of hang your hat on is he's been better of late. He's reached base in 8 of his last 9 games. He has drawn his walks more. But yeah, I mean, I'm skeptical about Max Muncy right now too. So I'm not here defending Max Muncy like it's like that meme with the long text. Have you ever seen that meme? It's like, and the text is on fire. It's like, who are you defending like that? That's not where I'm at with Max Muncy. It just, there are some things. I mean, he's still in the 75th percentile in hard hit percentage, barrel percentage, 80th percentile. So there are some things that kind of paint a different picture, but he's got to produce at the end of the day. I mean, predictive stats onto the whole story for sure. All right, let's go down below. We got Julian, new segment, Dodgers Therapy. I like that. You guys ever have segment ideas? Please shoot them my way. We've had a ton. Call to the Pens new, Dodgers Blues. I mean, 7th inning stretch. We got Craig Osterberg, any trade rumors? I mean, it's still early. I mean, Bob Nightingale basically gave us the latest last week when he told me that if it doesn't work out for Andy Pages, that the White Sox are intrigued by James Outman and that they would revisit the conversation about Luis Robert Jr. depending on how he's playing. Yeah, another guy asked me about Alex Freeland. So Alex Freeland's playing great. The thing about Alex Freeland is if he comes up, do you platoon him with Michael Conforto? And at that point, you're kind of making Conforto almost like a bench bat and a guy that doesn't start every day. And with Freeland, can you guarantee him enough bats to make sure you don't stun his development? So I'm definitely monitoring the Alex Freeland situation. He's been raking down there for sure. Free Freeland, if you want to go that route. We got Nando. Snell is joining Glass now at home, clipping the bonsai trees and wearing joggers. Oh, come on, bro. Come on. All right, Jose Aguirre, the bro will forever be Lux. You just leave that as Lux. And Lux is the man. I'm trying to talk to him. I like this. Gary Hunt. Let's get Lance Lynn out of retirement. Lance Lynn just gave another home run. The Linsanity run is not coming for sure. We've got Ricky Flores, Torta. Should we have signed Bellinger? No, I would say that doesn't make a lot of sense. DFA Muncy from JR. Rush up rushing. Can he get some reps at third base? We need a positivity only segment. You know, that's what we do on the postgame show. I call it the Michelada half full segment. So that's where we go with that for sure. Okay, guys, looking for a comment of the show here. What's that? Okay, sweet. We got Nico Suave says, Miko said on his podcast with Teo that one of the reasons he moved back to shortstop is so he would sign back here and he could play right field because Hernandez feels way more comfortable in right. I did see that. And I love that point. It shows the kind of team player Mookie is. But then couldn't you also put Mookie Betts at second and put Tommy Edman at short? I mean, there are some other options there, but I still think, hey, look, if Mookie wants to play short, there's certain guys that have deserved an opportunity. And I still, because of how much I believe in Mookie Betts, how much you got to respect him as a player and everything he's accomplished in his career, that you got to give him a long sample size to see if he can do this. Because if Mookie turns the bat around and plays shortstop like this, I certainly think that he's right up there for the MVP race and discussion. We need to see the vintage Mookie Betts bat. We have not seen that so far this season. Jose Aguirre, this is why our fan base clowns us. They would kill to have our problems and be 16-8. LOL. That's a comment of the show. It's a comment of the show. And you know what? No, I like that about us. I like that about Dodgers fans, okay? These are champagne problems. Yes, it does feel like when we lose, it is like Jeff Bezos losing $15 billion in the stock market. We're still rich. We're still successful, right? We've got Gabriella Cohen, Smith, Edman, and Teo for real are the most consistent. Yeah, Smith's gone off to a really great start. Tommy Edman as well. Teo's had some ups and downs, and defensively, he struggled at times too. Lucy Chen, I don't see the reason to sign Conforto in the first place. We can do so much better with $17 million. They're hoping he can rake. He had a really great finish to his season last year. Jerry Hunter, no surprise about Snell's, Glasnow's injuries. Just surprised the Dodgers did not know. Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers go for high upside pitchers. And high upside pitchers mean higher velocity, higher spin rates. And with that comes injuries. So there is no perfect answer for why. But they know big stuff wins big games, and that's why they go that route. But coming up, we've got the walk-off.
The walk-off.
So today for the walk-off, you got more Murakami gear. So Takashi Murakami threw out the first pitch there in Japan, and the Dodgers celebrating Japanese Heritage Night, they are releasing more gear, which is really cool. You got the Murakami flowers and stuff. You got the black hoodie, the shirts, and Murakami, he did an interview with the LA Times, and he said, it's been 2 months since I started practicing for the first pitch in Tokyo, but given my age, it's not so easy to pick up my new skills. Still, compared to the first day when I couldn't throw the ball at all, I have improved significantly. My hope this time is to throw the ball without bouncing. So we'll see what he looks like, and if that first pitch is looking better, because he's going to be throwing the first pitch out for the Dodgers against the Miami Marlins on Japanese Heritage Night. Pretty awesome. You guys like the Takashi Murakami gear with all the flowers on it? Really grew on me, man.
That mug is sick, Doug. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I want to give me some of that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely some really, really awesome merch for sure. Absolutely. And yeah, let me know down below. Get a couple comments heading out of here. Let's go. We need a positivity. So yeah, you guys want that. How's Kim? He's been playing well. We'll talk about him a little more tomorrow. By the way, if you guys want to ask a question in Dodgers mailbag for tomorrow, definitely drop that for sure. Adrian Salazar, Fanatics lost my gold World Series jersey. Awesome. What up, Nico? Appreciate you. We got Yangi, Snell, Tanner Conforto, even Sasaki have not been up to our expectation. Nando 390, you're hilarious. But yeah, that is going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. We'll be back tonight following the game. Join us for the post-game show. Hopefully it's a happier post-game show where the Dodgers get the win, but we will be live no matter what. So join us, guys. Follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Subscribe, hit the like button on your way out if you really want to help out the channel. Got the Freddie bobble, got the Shohei bobble. See you guys in a little bit, but that's going to do it. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. Until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.